Hi, and welcome to Wimbledon Common. We're starting off what's normally considered to be the centre of Wimbledon Common, and that is the windmill. Okay, so for this purpose, this is the windmill. The windmill was created in 1817 and was a working windmill in the style, I suppose it was Dutch, so from Holland, and it was a working windmill for about 50 years, up until 1864. Don't know if you can see this placard. The original creator of the Scouts, Baden-Powell, wrote Scouting for Boys in 1908 at this point. Whether it was at the windmill, I'm unsure, but it was on the Common that it was written. He later went on to help his sister create the Girl Guides. And coming back onto the windmill, it's an open structure on the inside, effectively, and it's now a museum where they show some of the things that they used, some of the implements that they used at the mill. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the Common. So Wimbledon Common is quite a big area. And we're going to investigate it. So Wimbledon Windmill is actually, when it's open, is free to visit, free of charge. It's run by volunteers. There's a tiny car park here. And just aside, there is a tea house, which is over here. This tea house was founded in 1969, and it is a family-run business, just on the outside. And they have public toilets over here. So I was going to have a look at this building over here, which I believe, or I thought, was the golf clubhouse, which was supposed to have been founded in 1908. However, when I read the top of that building, it says that it's a Scottish clubhouse for golf from 1868. Anyway, the clubhouse for the Wimbledon Golf Club that's here was founded in 1908, and during the First World War it was closed down for the army to use, or for the forces to use, to I suppose create manoeuvres or something. Ramble. So I believe this to be a deciduous common, so many different species of tree. And because it's quite early and cold, there's not so many walkers around. During summertime, this place is normally heaving with people, lots and lots of people. So up ahead we come up to Queensmere Pond. To mark the Golden Jubilee of, I think it's Queen Victoria, in 1887 workmen dammed a stream to create this artificial lake. And as you can see, it's quite nice round here. It's peaceful at the moment. So I think we've got some moorhens over here. A couple of swans over in the distance. Hopefully I'll get a bit closer to them. As you can see, it's totally overcast. There's no real sky, or blue sky anyway. But the bird sounds nice anyway. And as you can probably hear, sound does travel here.
I just can't do it. It's just like,
I am actually trying to point the camera away from people, as some people don't like to be caught on camera. So when this was actually created, lots of people flocked here from Wimbledon and surrounding areas just to spend time. But then I guess there wasn't so much TV back then. Obviously there was no TV back then. Just beyond the, I suppose, boundaries here, there is actually a churchyard or a graveyard. It's huge. I have no idea what graveyard this is, but we'll take a quick look. It is huge. And there's something scampering around in these little foresty woody bits. Probably some type of giant squirrel. There is actually a horse riding school near here as well, as you can see. People over there riding horses. As you can see, the graveyard is huge. And if I can find a way in there, I will. But I tend to get lost standing still, so it's probably not going to happen. Okay, so there go some of the ranges, and I've just been told that this is Putney Vale Cemetery, which I'm going to go and try and investigate. So for now I'm going to save some battery and walk on. See you in a bit. So I'm trying to make my way to the cemetery, and I don't know if you can see that up ahead yet. There's a memorial statue for those that fought in the First, Second, I suppose, Boer War. Somewhere nice and peaceful to remember those that have, I suppose, given us our democracy, defended our rights. Basically given everything for us. So I was just asking directions for how to get there, because apparently I think the creator of the Titanic, what I've been told, is buried there, amongst many others. So I don't know if you can see that. Wandsworth and Wimbledon Memorial Garden Fund. So it is for those of the First World War. Nature provides the best monument. The perfecting of the work must be left to the gentle hand of time, but each returning spring will bring a fresh tribute to those whom it's desired to keep in everlasting remembrance. Okay, I'd better move on. I'm going to go through that gap in the fence over there. So seems like I'm crossing a few football pitches, and in the distance you can see that there are rugby posts as well. So even though it looks as though I've been filming this for about 15-20 minutes, I've been walking for a lot longer than that. Okay, so we've just come out field over there, and we're now going into the cemetery. If you can see that. Putney Vale Cemetery, an itinerary, and where the Commonwealth graves are. So I turned the camera off because someone was actually grieving, and I didn't think it was right to film someone. Because that's a personal thing. Graves are beautifully set out here. And it looks like a lot of fresh plots as well, so I'm going to stop at this point until we get to the older graves. Okay. So whilst there are graves, there are also I suppose open to the air graves. I didn't know they had these here. My father's buried in one similar, or entombed. And the chapel is just over there. Looks somewhat Art Deco. Doesn't have a name of anyone here, or the family. So I managed to locate Howard Carter's grave. And in case you can't read that from there, Howard Carter, Egyptologist, discovered the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922. Born 9th of May 1874, died 2nd of March 1939. May your spirit live, may you spend millions of years, you who love Thebes, sitting with your face to the north wind, something your eyes beholding happiness. And it seems that other people have been here and have left gifts for him. And that's my quest for finding graves done today. Maybe another time I'll come back and do some more. But let's get back on to Wimbledon Common. So, other things that you may have heard about Wimbledon Common is that there are wombles here. Now, wombles are all over the world. However, the author of the wombles, Elizabeth Beresford, wrote her children's books in 1968 on the wombles, and they were inspired by her daughter, who kept on saying Wimbledon rather than Wimbledon, and as such that put an idea in her head, and she decided that she was going to create these rather large bears, or bear looking creatures. They were just supposed to be a little bit shorter than a man. However, by the time the TV series came along, they were turned into creatures that were knee high. The wombles were, how can I put it, conservationists really. They looked after the natural habitat. They would take all the junk, for those of you that don't know, and you put it to good use. So, and this was in the 60s, or late 60s, early 70s, when all the people were becoming aware of the rubbish that people left around. So, yeah, interesting. Anyway, let's have a look at the common. Right. So, being a new vlogger, I found it quite hard to remember where to look in the sense of the camera. So if I'm looking off to the right and then darting or having furtive glances to the left, it's because I've forgotten. I'm looking at myself and then looking at where the camera is. So while I have your avid attention, talk about the National Rifle Association. So I think most people have heard of the NRA, or of the USA, which started in 1871. However, the National Rifle Association in the UK started in 1859. So we have an earlier version. However, ours is not as prominent in any way, shape or form as to those in America. Both groups basically wanted to increase marksmanship and a sporting etiquette to start off with. The NRA UK was actually thought of and conceived of on Wimbledon Common, so which is why I brought it up. I'm not just bringing up random stuff. Most of the stuff, well, I am bringing up random stuff, but most of the stuff is focused on Wimbledon Common. So yeah, during the First World War, I think it was the British and the Americans, no, the British, the National Rifle Association offered their places, their rifle ranges for practice, so that troops could actually go and practice. And I think during the Second World War the Americans did exactly the same, and they allowed people to go and train in how to become a marksman. So Wimbledon Common has quite a lot of interesting little facts and beginnings. So one of my favourite authors, H.G. Wells, he actually wrote a passage in one of his more famous books, which was The War of the Worlds, which was written in 1897. And basically the hero is trying to find his partner, and has decided to try and travel to Leatherhead, which is about 10 maybe 15 miles away from here, maybe not even that. Anyway, he comes to Wimbledon Common and he sees some creature type thing lurking in a bush, and when the aliens are all attacking and destroying London, he approaches this thing that's in the bush that rises up and turns out to be an artilleryman, someone that he'd met earlier on, and he had a sabre. The artilleryman said from one point of the woods, sorry, the common, to another point were all his domain. So he'd become very territorial over food in that area. So I imagine rabbits, rats, berries, acorns, and so on. So just looking into these bushes, you could imagine finding someone just jumping out and saying, "Bugger off, this is my place. I don't like you. You're gonna eat my food." So yeah, someone who claimed territory. Anyway, so yeah, Wimbledon and Putney Common are mentioned in War of the Worlds. It's actually quite a big common. I'm totally disorientated, which is good, because that's how you find new things. So I've come to a crossroads. I've just trailed all the way down here. I am wanting to get back to the car park now, so rather than walk off that way, I'm going to try this less used track. And see where I end up. I'm just looking at how well these pictures are appearing on this camera. So I'm on my phone, which is a Google Pixel 6, and I am enjoying it. There are times when I get frustrated with it. I'm filming in 4K with 30 frames per second, and say I were to do a 20-minute video, I think it takes about 30 minutes just to upload, so it takes a while. I'm loving the different colours of green. They're just so obvious. So tell me what you think of the camera work, or how the camera's functioning. Is it clear enough for you? How's the sound? There's an area cordoned off over there. Kind of wondering if as a vlogger you actually have to have that stream of consciousness running, where you talk about anything and everything that comes into your head. How to be friends with your camera. You who are out there. Okay, I'm going to pause for now. See you in a bit. It's amazing what you find when you're not looking for anything. So I knew about the golf course. I, however, did not know about a giant sand pit. Well, I imagine that volleyball's played. How cool is that? So I've decided to head back to the windmill now, as I've been here quite a few hours now, and it has been really good for the soul, just having a walk around and hearing natural noises, even though the birds do sound like they're laughing at someone. Yeah, so now it's a case of just going back to the car and maybe having a cup of tea and then heading home. So I hope that you've enjoyed this so far. Oh look, we're at the ponds. Okay, sorry, the lake. which is great because now I know where I am. So, birds are over there. We have a nice little trek up here. Onwards and upwards. My boots are covered in filth. There you go. Streaming consciousness. Okay, so just a quick recap of what we've done. We've had a walk around. We visited the windmill. Remember that was 1817 to 1864. I am actually reading as I go along because I did forget most of this stuff. NRA UK was set up in 1859, basically to create a sense of marksmanship and prowess in that type of sport. H.G. Wells, he wrote about War of the Worlds here, 1897. No, he wrote the book War of the Worlds and included this common, effectively, from 1897. Baden-Powell created the Scouts in 1908, and then we had the Wombles in 1968. So quite a lot of different things happening there. We visited the Queensmere Pond, which was 1887, Golden Jubilee. The golf club around here was started in 1908, and the tea house, where people go for a cup of tea after they've been to the windmill or wherever, or their trek, was founded in 1969. So hopefully that'll give you reason to come and visit Wimbledon Common. It is nice up here, and we only saw a small part of it, as there's another section that's further down, that includes Canizaro House, which we will go and check out at some point soon, maybe within the week. Anyway, so from MonBly, I'm one of them, Kev is the other one. We'll see you at the next video. Cheers, bye.